Ladies and gentlemen, opening bid and offer, 500,000, thank you sir, 500,000 will look for a 20 rise, at 520, at 520 now 40, at 540 now 60, at 560, 70, at 570, 80 new bidder, welcome 90, at 590, 600,000 with my opening bidder, at 600,000 first, second, third and final call at 600,000, sold it your way, 600,000, welcome to the neighbourhood. Wow, wasn't that exciting? But where do we begin? So the first thing that we need to look at is what type of property do we take to auction? But I want to ask you a question. What about the vendor? What type of vendor would be suitable for auction? There's all types of properties, whether it be a big mansion or whether it be a 2-bedroom unit, northern suburbs, southern suburbs. You hear quite a lot, auctions don't really work in our area. But sometimes it's about the vendor as well. Why are they selling? What's the urgency? So that's something to think about when you're looking at a property and do we take it to auction. The marketing campaign will be 3 weeks. 2 weeks of marketing with the 3rd week being auction day. Because what we want to do is we want to look for and attract and bring out the unconditional buyers. Now, when we do our marketing, we need to communicate with our potential buyers the urgency. Why are our vendors selling? So for example, you might have a client or a potential vendor that needs to move to Sydney. They've got a job, they've had a promotion, so they need to sell. Communicate that in your marketing specifically. Vendor starting new job on this particular day in Sydney. So what we're doing is we're relaying to our potential buyers that yes, our vendors are serious. We have a time frame. We want you, the purchaser, to come in that time frame and put forward a cash unconditional offer. Now, when we market, do we market with a price or do we not? Different agents have different experiences with that. If you market with a price, the price needs to be right. If you market without a price, then you market without a price. So therefore, in open inspections, the number one thing that you're going to get asked is, oh, where do you think we're going to sell for? Go back to, the easiest way to reply that is to go back to the why the vendor is selling. Look, the vendor is selling, they're moving to Sydney, they want to hear from you, the market. That's why we're not quoting a price. And sometimes, especially phone calls, they might get a little upset look, we really want to know, how will we know what deposit to get? And that's okay. Some of the, and that's where you've got to look at your scripts and dialogues and have that ready before the phone call, before the open inspection. And it really is quite easy. So, say for example, I get a phone call or I'm at an open inspection, what do you think the property will sell for? We're not quoting a price. I'm interested in what level you see the property selling at, talking to the buyer, because we can use that then as feedback to our vendors for when they set the reserve price. And they'll know, believe you me, they will know. What's important over the 2 and the 3 week campaign is auction is about promotion of the property, promotion of your business in a very open and transparent field. So leading up to the auction, a few weeks prior, knock on the neighbouring doors, knock the whole street, invite them to attend the auction, because it's very important to get the neighbours out, because they're going to want to know at what level a property in their area sells for. So auction is action and people are drawn to that action. Leading up to the auction day, make sure that you have your documentation. It needs to be ready in your office 3 business days prior to the auction. And another little tip, have your documentation early as soon as you can, because it's a great tool to take to an open inspection. Just place it quietly in the kitchen and you'll be surprised at how many buyers will identify themselves by quite simply coming to the documentation. It's usually quite big and lots of information there that if you're not really interested in the property, you're not really going to be interested in. So the potential buyers grab it and have a look at it, and they've just qualified themselves. So you go up, oh, you're interested in the property, great little tool. Make sure you have the documentation as early as possible. So it's the type of property, type of vendor, 3 week marketing campaign, 2 weeks marketing, 3rd week auction. Quote a price or don't quote a price. Draw a line and stick to it. Your script and dialogue, very important. the documentation 3 days prior. Fantastic, you're going to love it. And next is auction day.